Hey guys, my name is Anthony and in today's video I'm going to be doing something a little different. I actually got this idea from a CSGO YouTuber named Vu, and I've been watching these videos for quite a while now, and I thought I've never seen anyone really make these type of videos to do with F1, so I thought that I would be that person to try it out and see how the F1 community reacts to it. So if you do enjoy this video at any given point, make sure to leave a like on the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you do want to see more videos like this. I want to thank Vu again for creating that type of content on CSGO, which gave me the idea to bring it into the F1 community and see how people react to it. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at the 3 different levels of track usage. We're going to be looking at a clip from someone who I would consider to be a beginner, then someone who I would consider to be more advanced, and then we'll be looking at one of the F1 Esports drivers' footage to see exactly how they use the track versus how someone else would use the track if they're maybe newer to the game. So let's get straight into today's video, and I hope that you guys enjoy. Okay, so for the first piece of footage, we're going to be taking a look at the beginner, seeing exactly what it is that I like about the way that they use the track and what I don't like, more importantly, about the way they use the track, because the main difference when it comes to a lot of things between someone who's newer to the game, someone who's more advanced at the game, and obviously one of the F1 Esports pros, is the fact that they make less mistakes as you climb up the ladder. So as you're a beginner, you're going to be making a lot of mistakes. As you get more advanced at the game, you're still going to be probably making quite a few mistakes, but you won't be making as many. You'll be a lot more consistent. And then the F1 Esports pros, that's basically the pinnacle of consistency. They rarely ever make mistakes, and when they do, it really costs them. So let's take a look at the beginner and see what mistakes he made and what you guys can take from this. So going straight into turn 1, the main thing that I liked about the way that he took turn 1 is that he used all the track on entry. When it comes to the basics of cornering in Formula 1, you guys already know that you want to be on the outside of the track going into the corner, then you'll swoop the car in towards the inside, which is called the apex, and then you want to drift the car back towards the outside of the corner on exit so that you can get on the throttle earlier and carry as much speed as possible. And right here you can see that he does use all of the track on entry, but this is where things start to go a little bit wrong in my opinion, and this is where he could gain a lot of time. So when it comes to hairpins, you want to take hairpins a little bit differently than you would your regular 90-degree angled corner. So if you guys don't know what apexes are, basically it's the point where the car is at its closest to the inside of the corner. So a late apex, which is what you would be looking for a hairpin, is basically when the car is at its closest to the inside of the corner, more towards the end of the corner than towards the beginning, which is where you would want the apex to be during a normal 90-degree angled corner. So for this, he turns the car in just a little bit too soon, and because of that he slows the car down way too much, and he's not able to really carry that speed towards the exit of the corner, which is why he's not able to use all of the curbing on the exit, which you really want to do if you want to gain a lot of time around this particular hairpin. So for turns 2 and turns 3 at Zandvoort, he could make up a lot more time. When it comes to those 2 particular corners, you really want to carry as much speed as possible, just enough momentum to really throw the car through those corners, so he can definitely carry a little bit more speed. But it's turn 4, which is the next part of the track, where I feel as if you can lose or gain a lot of time based on how you use the track. And for this one in particular, even though he doesn't carry enough momentum through this corner, I actually think he takes it a little bit better than the footage that you're going to see from the advanced section of this video, because this corner has a lot of banking, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically the incline, the fact that you can see the track incline upwards, that's the banking. Because you see that, you actually want to turn in a little bit earlier, because the banking itself will help rotate the car. So instead of doing what you'll see in the advanced section of this video, you actually want to turn in a little bit earlier when it comes to corners that have this sort of banking. Another corner that really comes to mind is the hairpin in Sector 2 at Suzuka. It has a little bit of an incline, so you actually want to turn the car just a little bit sooner than you usually would for a hairpin, because the actual banking itself will help rotate the car. So he takes this pretty nicely. And then once again, when it comes to Taft's footage here, he really just doesn't use all of the track, and that's the main difference between him and the advanced footage that you'll see in a minute, and even the F1 Esports Pro footage that you'll see. He's just not using as much of the track as he possibly can, and you can really see it going into the right-hander at the end of Sector 1. He just does not use all of the track on entry, which costs him a lot of time, and the main reason is because when it comes to faster paced corners, when it comes to higher speed corners, you really want to be able to throw the car in and carry as much minimum speed as you possibly can. And if you're towards the inside of the track going into the corner, you have to brake a lot harder, and that means that you're not carrying all of the speed possible. Whereas if you're towards the outside, it really gives you that angle to throw the car in and carry all of that speed that you need to, because it can be the difference between taking a fast corner at high speed and taking a fast corner at mid speed. And for those type of corners, if you do that, you will lose a lot of time. So when it comes to this lap in general, honestly, as a beginner, I would actually say that his usage of the track is passable. It definitely is passable. It's okay. He is losing a lot of time. There is a lot of things he needs to learn in terms of how to use the track. However, I feel as if there's a lot more pressing issues to this lap as to why he's losing a lot of time versus his actual track usage, which I think is actually passable. Okay, so moving on to the advanced level footage, and you can see it's of me, and you're not always going to see me in the advanced level, because even though obviously I would consider myself an advanced level driver, there are different stages to each sort of section that you're in. So if you're in a beginner, you know, there's different stages to being a beginner, there's different stages to being advanced, and then you've obviously got the pros, and there are still a lot for me to learn. I would consider myself to be towards the low end of the advanced level, so I still think I'm good enough to really showcase the differences between a beginner and an advanced level driver. So let's get straight into this one. And as you can see, turn 1, I pretty much take it textbook. I'm on the outside of the corner going into the corner. I then trail brake the car in towards the corner and then get on the throttle as early as I can, and I use all of the track on exit. And what this actually does is it allows you to get more on the throttle earlier. So if I wasn't using all of the curb on the exit, then it would take me a longer time to get to 100% on the throttle, and that just loses time because the car is not going as quickly. So that's the main reason why you really want to be on the outside of the track as much as possible going on the exit. And then, as I said previously, when it comes to, you know, turn 2 and turn 3, turn 2's flat, is basically not even a corner, and then turn 3, you just want to carry as much momentum through that corner as you possibly can. That's really just a setup thing. If you can't carry a lot of speed through there, it's most likely a setup thing. But turn 4, this is where the main difference is between the advanced level footage and the beginner level footage, and I actually think that Taft in the beginner level footage actually took the corner better than I did. What I did here is I actually straight lined the car going into the corner and then took a sort of V approach for this corner, and though for normal hairpins that can work, that is a pretty good way to take those corners, this corner in particular does have a banking. So because it has a banking, I can afford to really just turn the car in and let the incline of the corner allow me to carry the speed through and get on the throttle earlier. So I definitely think that Taft took that corner better than me. If I had taken the corner a little bit earlier, I could have carried more speed in and gained a little bit more time. And then yeah, pretty much through the rest of the lap, especially the right-hander at the end of Sector 1, it's pretty much textbook from the advanced level footage. I'm using all of the track on entry, then swooping the car into the corner, and then using all the track that I can on exit as well. So pretty textbook from me in terms of the track usage, especially through that right-hander, as I said. Again, I could have gained a lot more time through there, but that's not necessarily an issue with how I was using the track, but how I was operating the actual car itself. And that's the main difference that you'll see a lot of the time when it comes to the footage between the advanced level driving and the actual pro level driving as well. The main difference is the pros are able to keep the car on the limit at all times, and they're able to use the limits of the track to perfection. And then lastly, for Jarno's footage, which will be the pro that we're looking at today, I'll just let his lap play through the background as I sort of talk about the main differences that I saw between my lap and his lap. Obviously his lap being a lot better than my banker lap that I got. So the main differences are, for turn 1 for example, he uses third gear, which probably just allows him to turning the car just a little bit more, which will allow him to get on the throttle a little bit sooner, which you know, as long as he's opening up the car quickly, then that means that he can really carry a lot of speed. And then through the right-hander, for example, again, he's just maximizing the track to perfection. Pretty much if he was any more to the left, he would have been on the grass, and that would have lost him a lot of time. Whereas with me, I felt as if there was maybe a little bit of room that I could have used, not a lot, but just a little bit more, that would have allowed me to get a better angle. And then through sector 2 is where you really see quite a few differences. For example, going through the couple of right-handers, he doesn't hit the curb on the inside for the first right-hander, and then for the second right-hander, you can see he uses a lot of the curb going through that corner. And I didn't even use the curb, I don't think, in my footage for my banker lap, whereas he used practically all of the curb. He was braking on the curb. So that's definitely something that I need to improve on, just being able to brake on the curbs, and that will allow me to get, again, just get a better angle and carry more speed throughout the corners. And then on exits, for example, for the exit going into the DRS zone, he just uses, again, more of the curb, more of the exit curb, which allows him to carry more speed in general down that little straight. So yeah, pretty much for the pro footage, he's just on the limit at all times compared to the advanced level footage, which you saw from me. And in the beginner level footage, there's definitely a lot of pressing issues as to why he's losing a lot of time. But in terms of the actual track usage, I think that it's definitely possible. There's definitely a lot for him to improve, and a lot for you to improve if you feel as if you're sort of in that category. But I can guarantee you that even with just passable track usage, or even just textbook track usage, you can still gain quite a lot of time. So the main things to take away from this video when it comes to track usage is you want to be on the outside of the track on entry of the corner. You want to use as much of the track on entry as possible, because that gives you the best angle throughout the corner. And then on exit, you want to use as much of the track on exit as well, because it opens up the angle for you, allowing you to carry more speed throughout the track. So I know that this video was quite different compared to what you've seen on my channel, and just in general when it comes to F1 creators who do tutorials. But if you did like this video, make sure to smash that like button and let me know in the comment section on what you feel I can improve on when it comes to these videos, because I probably won't be making another video like this for the F1 2020 game. But if you guys did enjoy this video, I will be smashing these videos out when F1 2021 comes out. So I do hope that you enjoyed this video, I do hope that you learned from this video, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.